Hey, everybody. On today's episode of Crushing It with Your Tribe, I have someone that essentially changed my life when I joined his fitness program about 7 years ago. So I'm excited to chat with Brad Linder, and we're going to talk about fitness and just your overall health so that you can do the things that you want to do. So stay tuned for Brad Linder with Get You in Shape on Crushing It with Your Tribe.
As a Texas realtor, Robin McCoy is in the unique position to meet and know so many different people in a wide range of industries. These people are her tribe, and she leverages them not only to help her business, but to help theirs as well. Welcome to Crushing It with Your Tribe, where we share real talk about building business and life relationships. Here is your host, Robin McCoy.
Hey, everybody, it's Robin McCoy, a Texas realtor with Keller Williams, and welcome to Crushing It with Your Tribe. And today, I'm really excited to have this guest, Brad Linder. He has been in my life for about 6 or 7 years now, as you guys know my boot camp stories and all my pictures. So he is the guy behind that boot camp that gets me up at 5 o'clock in the morning during the week. So, Brad, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yes, excited to be here, Robin. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Brad. Brad has been a transformation coach and making life-changing impact on thousands of lives since 1998. He is the founder of Get You in Shape, which is based in Coppell, Texas. Get You in Shape is an in-person fitness and online coaching program that focuses on people's own ability to make change in their lives. Brad and his company Get You in Shape was named as one of the top personal training companies in Texas on the Doctor's TV show. And he is a very happy husband to Cynthia and a father of, oh my gosh, 7 children. So how he does all that is beyond me. I guess you're really healthy.
So yes, that's
Yes.
the quick version of that.
That is the quick version. Otherwise, I could sit here and you could just stand there and smile and I could just talk about you, but that would be kind of boring. So let's have you tell us, how did you, I mean, you've been an athlete your whole life, correct?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, growing up, liked most sports, played most sports through high school. Learned that basketball was my kind of the one that I was better at, and
Mhm.
so I just kind of stuck with that. Was grateful to go to get my college scholarship paid for. Grateful to get a master's degree paid for, and mainly I did all that through being an athlete and fitness.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That skill set paid off.
So just and one more of that, just because people have asked, I did also go play basketball overseas. So was blessed to
Okay.
go and live in Ireland for one
Nice.
year.
Nice. So basketball was the kind of the fuel that kind of got all this going. And talk to me about the master's degree and all that and where you went after college and after you played when you got back from Ireland, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. So just a quick. I got my bachelor's in health and kinesiology, and then after I finished basketball, I had no clue what exactly I wanted to do. Like I'm 47 now, and I still don't have a clue. But like many of
We're
us,
always a work in progress, right?
But at the time, I was like, well, and then I was offered a graduate assistant job on the basketball team, so I might as well stay another year and got my master's. While I was doing so, I continued to play basketball with the team, and so I just let me go overseas. So I played that year and then got a chance to go overseas. When I got back, I actually was I got back during school. I also got certified as a teacher. So I taught when I got back at a private school for emotionally disturbed kids. These are kids that were really sent by school districts because they
Mm.
cannot handle them. It was a residential
Wow.
treatment center as well. So, but I was just a teacher. I loved it, very rewarding. But after a certain time, I knew there was something new, something different for me to do. I loved working with the 8 to 10 kids that I was working with, but I also knew in the back I had got my master's in health kinesiology. I was still living it out myself, loving being healthy, being working on my own fitness. And at the time, it was a few years later, I was still helping people, but just in a small manner. And so I decided to move up to Dallas. This was in 2001. And I didn't have a job, didn't know what to do. I just knew something. I was ready for
Something was
change.
waiting for you in Dallas. Something
Was waiting
was
for me
here.
in Dallas. And so if you read the backstory on the journey, like, I mean, I started helping people in 98, and then 2001, I moved up here and I got started doing private training. But during 3 years, I did private training. I golf caddied. I got my insurance license. I even bartended. I did some service, some like promotion stuff. I kind of was kind of finding my way to figure out what exactly I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
All in the same time, I was helping change lives through health and fitness. But I didn't necessarily. Everyone that knows, like everyone that is a trainer, and they tell people I'm a trainer, it's like the big T on your forehead, and everyone has everything to say to the trainer. That's asking a bunch of questions, and the other part of that is I didn't know if it was something that I could do for a living to raise a family.
Right.
So that being said, there's about a few years where I was trying to find myself, trying to figure out what my journey was. And I did say 2001. It was actually 2003. So I taught from 2001, 2003, moved to Dallas in 2003. So until 2006, when I was approached by a guy to do a show, a fitness show that would have a half segment would be fitness, and half of the segment I would be interviewing different people from DFW that are in all areas of health and fitness. I did some holistic doctors, some
Wow.
one of the guys that was one of the personal trainers for the Dallas Cowboys. So a lot of great. So with that, I was in charge of making the show, and I was in charge of coming up with the name of the show. And as anyone knows, trying to find a URL and all that, this is way back in 2006. And what was available? Get you in
There it
shape.
is. And I think that's how a lot of companies' names evolve, or that's how they are it's like, what can I find the URL on? What is not being used by somebody else? And so there it is.
So that was 2006. Ended up not being a show, but it ended up producing my first fitness DVD. And then that same year, I also well, and during that time, I still was personal training. I was doing more private clients in home. But I also that year got my first group. It was a corporate thing. I did a basketball team, and then I also did University of Dallas. I went there and on site, and it was one of those things where it was just my cup of tea. It was perfect for me. I knew I was in my zone helping people. We call ourselves personal trainers in a group environment where each person is their own individual, because my whole background was I trained one-on-one. So I help people with individually but then how to make that into the group setting,
Right.
Which for a lot of folks known that as that boot camp, which you call it. But
Yeah.
our boot camp is, as you know, is totally different from other per se boot camps. It's more
Very
of like
much
rah
so.
rah. It's those are more rah rah. Let's all clap and let's high five. And there some people love that. But what I kind of started was I wanted something that was different, something that people that don't like that don't like going to the gym, that just wanted to. So that's what I did there, and it kind of morphed into when we got married in 2007. I had a few people that asked, "Hey, why don't you start a boot camp?" So in 2007, Coppell, Texas, we started what's called the Get You in Shape program, which at the time it was Get You in Shape Boot Camp, which a lot of, as you know, the clients like to use the term boot camp, but we just call it a fitness program because it was just that. So we started with 5 people at 5:30
Wow.
a.m. one time, and that morphed into the next month because if people heard they want to try it. That morphed into another time. I think it was 8 a.m. And then the next month we started the evening time, and by the time 6 months was over, we had over 100 clients, and
Wow.
it was one of those things. And I kind of tell people it did not happen overnight. All
No.
those years from 98 to 2006, when I was learning my craft and I was helping people. But once doors were opened and I mentioned all the other things I was doing, insurance, caddying, and they were all service jobs. There were people, I was having to
Yeah.
learn what people needed. Um, those led me to when doors were open in health and fitness, when I actually started and knew this was the avenue I wanted to go and my passion. That's it. It all came together. Where that's why it grew so fast. It wasn't like I'm going to start this.
You
It was
didn't
like,
wake up one day and go, let me see. And then in 6 months, you got 100 clients and you're rocking and rolling.
yes,
Well, I think you totally found a niche, right? I mean, I had been to all the gyms. I mean, if I had a nickel for all the hundreds of dollars I'd spent on gyms, um, I'd be a rich woman. But if you'd have told me before I started at getting you in shape that I'd be getting up in the dark and working out with a bunch of people in a parking lot at a park, I would have told you were out of your mind. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, but you have created this community of people that even if they don't want to work out, they feel bad for leaving because they got so many friends there. It's like leaving family. How did you get that community that just people need it? Is this the year that you're going to stop paying rent? Is this the year that you are going to finally purchase your own home? But where do you start? How do you get your questions answered? Well, I'm Robin McCoy, and I'm a Texas realtor with Keller Williams. Relax, I got this. I have a home buyers masterclass the first Saturday of every month, and it's free to you, and it's all online. Just text the word masterclass to 214-226-3770, and we'll get you registered and on the path to home ownership. How did you get that community that just people need it?
I think the biggest thing that I realize is as it relates to health and fitness, and we all know that we need to move. We all
Yes.
know that. Um, what happens is you get in the habit of not moving, and so
Mhm.
with me, understanding with again, and I say you're kind of a part of who we attract. People who that don't
Mhm.
really like going to the gym, don't like really working out by themselves. They excel better when they have a positive environment.
Mhm.
So first I always go back to the core values that when we did do the company. Number one is community. We wanted to create a positive environment that did create motivation, that did create encouragement, that did create inspiration. I feel like if someone can come and spend, like you mentioned, no one thinks that they're going to be 5, 6, 7, and we have clients that have been 15 years now with
Yes.
us. If someone is, they would never thought that, but at the end of the day, what we have kind of made is that exact thing, a community of like-minded people, not necessarily like-minded, but like-setted. They want to be healthier. They want to, but what we provide that environment to help them do that. And so that's the biggest thing I think in attracting people that fit that mold. Understandably, you've been to enough sessions. We don't have a lot of people that can run a mile in 6 minutes.
No, what I like to say is it's normal people. I mean, when I started, and again, that was what, 6 or 7 years ago, I couldn't do a push-up. I would you couldn't see my arms move, and yet the thing about what you've got there is you meet people where they are, and nobody feels like they don't belong because they're not an athlete, because they don't work out, because of any of that. So it's a very safe environment to be at the lowest physical ability, just getting up off the couch, right? To being wherever it is you are today and being able to grow into that.
Right. I think the welcoming part that you said is the biggest thing, and I think that's where people get very they're just very intimidated by going to a gym
Mhm.
or starting something different than what we provide. More of just, we're going to go at your own level. You're going
Yeah.
to have modifications. You're going to be and you mentioned the in person, which it's funny because that's where a lot of our clients are. But then when we morphed over into online and
Mhm.
getting virtual, is just kind of funny because they're the ones that they just need a plan. They just need a
Yeah.
workout that they would like to do. And they're the same people that don't want to go to the gym. They'd prefer, hey, if I had someone, and I say a plan, but the second thing is they need the accountability.
Yeah.
So you get the accountability in person, but some of the folks that we coach online, they're not necessarily wanting to get out of bed and doing something. They would prefer what we have a lot of folks that travel. We have folks that work from home now because of COVID.
Yeah.
They like the convenience that they can pick and choose when they work out, but at the same point, they're still they're still seeking a coach or an accountability partner, because that's what we all need.
Mhm.
That we need some sort, and then they need the plan. They
Yeah.
need what should I be doing?
Because most of the time, if you're somebody like me, you go to the gym and any workout facility, all of them out there, and you wander around and you don't know what to do. And so you get on a treadmill or an elliptical, and that gets boring in about 12 minutes. And so you leave. And by having this, and like you said, now that you've been able to put that online, I just need somebody to tell me what to do. Okay, now we're going to do push-ups, and now we're going to go do a cardio thing, and now we're going to do this and we're going to do that. So I don't have to think about it because I don't know how to do it. I don't know what's the right thing to do and in what order, and you
Well,
you
and
guys
then
provide
the
that to
other
us.
thing, Robin, you don't want to either.
I don't know. I
I
don't.
mean, we
You're
again,
absolutely right.
I tell people, like, we're gonna take one thing off your crazy
Yeah.
brain that we all like. You don't have. We're gonna help you what to do. If you need modifications, we're gonna tell you. We're gonna have
Yep.
alternate. Yes, you're coming to our session, so you're gonna easily get it. But even on the virtual, but the biggest thing is, like, what I hear from most people is like, I'm just glad this one less thing to think about.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
mentioned you go to the gym. Well, that's half. That's, I say half. That's probably 80 to 90% of people that they don't want to go to the gym because they don't know what to do. They feel bad, and then once they go, it's like, why do I need? I can't ever go back to the gym.
yeah. Yeah, no. I look at him like there's no way. There's no way. This is and I just think it's incredible how you've been able to get people up and moving because and I think we saw a lot of it and I know I experienced it during the COVID how sedentary we all got. I did. And as I get older and as I age and I need to make sure that I can move when I'm 80. I'm going to be 60 this summer. 20 years from now, I still want to be able to move around and do things and you've got to start now. I don't care
Yeah.
how old you are, it's now.
Well, that's kind of where you get to the biggest reason why people don't like to work out is motivation. They don't have the
Yeah.
motivation. Once you have the motivation, like you're saying, like, I'm 60, I want to be able to move at 80. That's going to at least give you the motivation to start. And I
Yes.
mentioned from the get go, people, the biggest reason they don't get into the habit of consistently working out is the motivation. But once you start have a choice to move, I'm choosing to move.
Yeah.
And why? It's not because I want to. You
Because I
don't get
don't
up at
like it. I'm not
five
going to
five
lie.
o'clock or and again, and I say you just because you're the one that getting up at 5, but anyone,
Right.
whenever you work out, that's you're still having to take time away from your day. So it's not like I'm going to I want to work out at lunch. Well, what you do is you choose to work out and you have a reason why you're working out. And once you get 3, 4, 5 good reasons why you're going to work out, well, that's going to help make your choice to actually work out. Why
Yeah.
am I working out? And it goes across the board with eating healthy and getting enough rest and drinking water. But as it relates to kind of our tribe, what this is about is trying to create an environment that is going to want you to get you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or want to
Or
want
go
to be
after work at 5:30 or whatever that is for you.
Yes. So having a why is huge because that's going to help get you started. Because again, the motivation is one of the main reasons why people don't work out. So if you have enough motivating factors to help you work out, like with, as you just said it, 60 and 80, a lot of our clients are over 50. So they're getting to where they're seeing their parents. And
Exactly.
like, I do not want to be like that. So that's your motivation to start working out. Um,
Well, and part of
for
it for me, it was to once I changed my mindset of I'm doing this to lose weight to I'm doing this so I'm healthy and my heart is stronger and so that I am mobile as I age, the motivation that again, that motivation changes
Yes,
because the
yes.
reason changes.
And again, for those listening, you know, I would say I'm 45. I already or 47. I went over my quick story. I grew up being an athlete, but I'm now 47. You heard I've got 7 kids. I run a company. There are a lot of times where I do not want to work out, but I have enough reasons, as you heard a few of them
It
just now. I
sou
mean, I've got to have energy. Part of my whys is so I have energy to when I do get done with work, I get home, I can be able to have energy and want to play with kids. I'm at the stage where I have to, still do tag. I have to pick up and
and
change
that's not ending
diapers.
for a while because you got the littlest one. That you're gonna be playing
Yes.
tag for a long time.
But again, I'm kind of trying to get to the point where again, fitness is just one aspect to being healthy,
Yeah.
but it's a
Yes.
big aspect. If you can work on you and do things that you never thought you could do as it relates to movement, that's going to create some self confidence in that you
Mhm.
can do something. If you like in your case, you're doing it at 5:30 a.m. Well, I got up at 5 a.m. Well, I can do something else
Do
when
it.
something
Yeah.
comes to you at 2 p.m. Like, well, I just worked out. I could do this.
Exactly.
So
Well,
having
and
some
let's
whys.
yeah, and I think that's with anything, right? Any goal, you gotta have a reason why you wanna do it. And, I think it's important too that people know that get you in shape isn't just the physical part, but you also teach and train and coach on healthy eating and clean eating and getting, you have what do you call them? The challenges, like the no
Yep.
sugar, or, those sorts of things. So talk a little bit about how you do that for people that maybe don't live in Coppell.
Be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Business Women's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
Talk a little bit about how you do that for people that maybe don't live in Coppell.
Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to your body, fitness is just one aspect. I mean, if you go and I mean, there's so much out there, but if you any of the longevity doctors right now, their movement is one, and resistance training is the key because the more lean muscle mass you have, the longer as far as your body. But that being said, that's just one aspect.
Yeah.
Your mind is another aspect. So we really focus on again, dialing in on some of the reasons why you want to be healthy, why you want to be fit, why you want to be mobile, like you said earlier. What is your whys? And we call those your so that's. So mental strength is going to be one, because like I said, I don't feel like working out a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot of days. Yesterday was rainy. I didn't feel like working out, but guess what I did? Why? Because I have enough reasons why I need to work out. The nutrition part, yes, 80% of the battle is with what we put in our mouth, and the fitness part is going to help with just how you feel, mental, emotional well-being. But at the same point, it's what we put in our bodies that's going to help us live longer. And so, part of our coaching is helping with what you put in your body, when you put it in, and then giving some lifestyle eating for life type tips that how can you, because everyone has their own what they
Yeah.
like and what they don't like. They all have their own lifestyle that they enjoy. So we've made it, we've done a lot of things over the year, tried a lot of things. We made it to where there's some simple tips to help you eating better, but also so that you can still live the way you'd like to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm big fan of moderation. I'm a big fan of putting pieces together as it relates to your health and fitness. Sleep, stress, fitness. I'd mentioned the mental part, which is and then a big key to what we do is just help coach people, help support people, because we all need in every area of our life. And in most businesses have a coach.
Yeah. They
Like
do.
if you own a business, you're a part of some sort of consulting company, some sort of mastermind. That's a
Yes.
coach telling you what you should be doing. And I feel like that's what I feel like that's what we do as it relates to helping people with their own health and their fitness and their journey, because it's all customized to each person because everybody is different. But we all need to move. We all need to eat healthier. And then why is that? And that's kind of where we customize it and make it to work for each individual. So as it relates to what we do, it's all customized for everyone. So there's a lot of things that we do, but when you Robin, since you're in Coppell, we have a hub in Coppell, our tribe,
Right.
which is why I'm on this, because we've we've developed a great group of people that love working out together and love getting up. In your case, getting up early. But we have a 6:30, we have 8, we have a noon, we have evening times, but they enjoy being around each other. And then we also have people that either travel or not necessarily in Coppell, or would prefer just to have a coach tell them what to do and have a plan
Yeah.
to follow. And so I've kind of morphed that into the Get You in Shape program, where we customize it to each person to where what they need, so that we can help them from where they're at now to where they want to go.
Well, and I think that's what's important is, everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody has of their choices, right? Some people want in person, some people want to do it at home at 3 in the morning because they they whatever their life is, right? Just what you said, right? It's and oftentimes we just need somebody to keep us between the ditches. There's so much information. We're on Facebook and we're listening to the news and everybody's telling us, eggs are bad and then eggs are good and then this is that and nobody, it just gets confusing and so we chuck it. Forget it. It's too hard anymore. I don't care anymore. So by able, for me, being associated with Get You in Shape has changed me, and that's why I've tried to get people to come, but they won't come. They say, I'm not getting up that early. And I tell them they don't have to. But you have the online option now. And I think that's important as well for people to know that you don't have to be in the parking lot
Yeah, and
in
I will
Coppell.
say that it's not necessarily about fitness. I,
Yes.
I feel that it's about the entire body. I don't know what I mentioned, but just the fitness, nutrition, sleep. I might have not
Sleep.
mentioned stress, and those four things, and then having the coach or accountability to help with that overall what I say holistic approach, because it's putting pieces in your life together to make it work.
Because your life is everybody's busy and everybody has stress. And whether it's kids or maybe we're caring for our elderly parents or our job is extremely stressful, we've got to find the time in that day somehow to take care of this because it's the only one we got.
Yes, it's just like everyone knows what they say on the airplane.
Take
Put
care of
your mask
yourself
on
first. Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the a lot of folks, and you could probably relate. A few years ago when you joined, you were putting mask on other people
Oh,
more
yeah.
than you were yourself. And that's the biggest thing we focus on is like the more you can focus on you and improving you, you're going to be able to be a better you to everyone that comes in
Mhm.
contact with you every single day. And for me, that's I'm saying that to myself because I've got to do it myself. Part of myself that is so that I can be the best version of myself for everyone that I help. I mean, I'm called
Yeah,
to
you work
serve others. If
yeah,
I'm
you
not
work with a lot of people. A lot of people.
if I'm not taking care of me, number one, I'm not able to be my best to the people that need my motivation,
Yeah.
that need my encouragement, need my inspiration. I can't be myself or can't be the best version, can't be light to others if I'm not taking care of myself. And I say that to say is because I'm not 100% perfect, Robin. Um,
Yeah.
you, you, it,
What?
everyone, it's kind of funny, but yes, maybe back in the day, people thought I was like 100% perfect. But with everyone is, everyone likes to live. Everyone is, I'm one of those
Mhm.
guys. I'm not the fitness professional that just eats chicken and salad every single day.
Yeah.
I do eat for the most part healthy during the week, and then I like to have I got 7 kids, so I eat what the kids eat at night, and I say that to say is because most people think that if you want to be healthy and fit, or you want to lose 30 pounds, you have to be perfect at everything you do.
Yeah.
You really don't. You just got to start making some choices that are healthy, and why you're making the choices will lead to new habits, which will lead to your new lifestyle.
Yeah, it's it is and it's making every day you've got choices all day long. I don't know what the statistic is on how many choices and how many thoughts we have every single day and it's thousands and thousands, right? So you can have good positive thoughts and choices or not. And oftentimes you say, "You know what? Yesterday I ate that cannoli cuz it was there and it was really good and it was homemade and I had it and I loved every minute of it. I made the choice to eat it and I felt fine about it. It's when you sit down and you're mindlessly eating that I think for me anyway, you go down you get creating those bad habits again, falling into some of that and it's hard to get back.
Yep, it's the habits. That's a big part. So having daily habits, and for you, you've created a weekly habit of working out 2, 3, 4 times a week. That has helped over the
Mhm.
years, and now you have that. Like that's just a part of you. So if you miss, and in your case, I know you travel some, and you miss. Well, when you get back in town, guess what? You know that it's time
It's
to get back in your
yep.
habits.
Set
Here's
the
what
alarms again, right?
when I'm in town, here's what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
that's the idea is you developing healthy daily habits that help to create that lifestyle change that we all are looking for.
Well, let me ask you this. Is what's one thing that maybe you want to final gem that you want to drop on people that maybe we didn't touch on? We covered a lot of the stuff, but is there anything that any other
Yeah,
point that you just want to get across?
yeah. I just think that if anyone is struggling with their health and struggling with how they feel, struggling with sleep, struggling with maybe inflammation in their body, struggling just not feeling good, you can make a change right now. And it's pretty simple to make a change. The change is just making a choice.
Yeah.
Next time you're sitting down to eat, instead of having the cheeseburger and fries, maybe just make a choice to have chicken and broccoli. Now, again, I say that says because we all want to live, but if you're trying to change, there's got to be some choices first. And again, I go back to why I'm making the change. I'm making the
Yeah.
change to feel better, so I can be more mobile, so I can have energy to play with my kids. In a lot of cases, it's for the grandkids. So
Mhm.
I can enjoy retirement when I get to it, so that I can get off of my medications, so that I can fit in my dress that when my daughter gets married. I'm not. That's not me. Um, but having some reasons why I prefaced it with the goals. Goals is
Yeah.
to lose weight, to be healthy, to have energy, but it's why you want to lose weight. It's so that I can feel good again and be taking pictures with people. I don't feel like I don't want pictures.
Yeah.
It's doing what I do. I get to help people walk through those whys. Um, but it's sad because I get to sit and see people cry about
Yeah.
where they're at right now, and they don't have to be that. Understandably, they're there, and I comfort them, but at the same point, they can make a choice to start now. It could be just instead of a donut, have an apple. That's your
Yeah.
choice, but it's why. So having some reasons why would be the biggest thing, because that one choice will lead to your next choice. You mentioned choices every single day, because we focus on, if we can just focus on choices right now. Here's why I'm drinking water instead of the Diet Coke. Here's why I'm drinking X.
Yeah.
Only having 2 glasses of wine instead of the whole
The
bottle of wine.
bottle of wine.
I,
Well,
you
and I mean,
know,
sometimes the choice is just picking up the phone and calling you, right? I
correct.
mean, we get to a point where we go, God, I hate where I am. I just hate where I am. And sometimes it's going with faith or stepping out of that comfort zone to show up at that first workout or show up at that meeting or get online with you and saying, and it may cause tears, but to say, I just don't like where I am. I need
Yeah.
help, and asking for the help.
It's kind of funny, because that's what I tell people the first time I meet them. We go over the so that's, but then we go, your choices right now, your choices are to show up to it, start moving again, because we've already gone
Yeah.
this why you're doing it. Here's why you're doing it. Here's your whys. But to show up, to start moving again, whether it be in person or online, you're going to start moving. But here's
Mhm.
why. We already know the why. To seek our help along the way. That means when you have questions, we're here working for you 24/7. But if we don't know that you need support, we don't know. And
Yeah.
then last but not least, as we say, follow the darn instructions. And
That's the hardest part right there.
instructions aren't crazy. We've simplified a lot of it, but it's just,
Yeah.
sleeping better. It's how to manage stress, and it's how to eat and what to eat, in order to help you start feeling better. But those are the reasons why. Yeah, like you said, just the first step is, yeah, just make a choice. And it does not need to be get you in shape. But I
No.
mentioned all those solutions, the fitness, the sleep, the stress, the nutrition. You have to have some sort of accountability,
Yeah.
because we can't do it. We don't want to do it alone. No one it's not
No.
fun doing it on
It's
your own.
lonely. It's lonely trying to do it on your own. And then nobody sees you when you're not doing it, right? So, well, nobody's going to know
Exactly.
if I make a poor choice, cuz nobody's here to keep after me, you
And
know?
unfortunately, that's, again, you said it earlier, that's where the mind gets in your head. It's like, I
Yeah.
did it again. And it's just a spiral effect, which it does not have to be that way. And that spiral, it's okay to have that, whatever you had that was okay. It's
Yes.
just, what are you having now? Like, what's the
Yeah.
next? I mean, it's okay to
What's the next
indulge.
thing?
It's
Yeah.
okay to indulge. That's what our life is about. But it's the indulging every single day.
When it stops becoming an indulgent and becomes the norm, that's I can't eat cannolis for meals every day, but I can have one cannoli occasionally, right? You know,
Yes.
it's how that all works. So, all right. Well, Brad, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. We're going to make sure that all of Brad's contact information and all his bios and all that good stuff are in the show notes so that you can reach out to Brad. Remember, you don't have to live in Coppell, Texas to take advantage of him and his amazing programs and his support. And I am a 7-year client, so I know of which I speak. I've never stuck with any kind of exercise routine for that many years, ever. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, Robin. Appreciate you.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in to Relax, I Got This. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for Crushing It with Your Tribe with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and her guests and to access your free resources and information discussed on this episode. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we will see you next time on Crushing It with Your Tribe with Robin McCoy.